is CTV News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. A pedestrian has died after a serious collision near downtown late this afternoon. Police say a vehicle was eastbound on Hannah Street when the driver drove through the stop sign at Windsor Avenue. The force of the collision pushed both vehicles towards the northwest corner. One of the vehicles sadly struck a pedestrian who was walking down the sidewalk. The 58-year-old man was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say he has now died. The collision is under investigation. If anyone has surveillance or dash cam footage, you're asked to contact Windsor Police or make an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. Separate to that, and earlier today, a woman was taken to hospital after being hit by a vehicle. Police say this one happened near Ottawa Street and Gladstone around 9:30 this morning. The pedestrian was taken to hospital, however, in this case with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver, however, faces 1 count of careless driving. And there was a stabbing this morning near a local homeless shelter. Windsor police say shortly after 8 a.m. officers were called to Wyandotte Street East near Parent Avenue for a fight between 2 men. The man that was stabbed taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A suspect was located a short distance from the scene and taken into custody without incident. On our website, you'll find details about a stolen vehicle investigation. The vehicle was reported stolen from the 300 block of Karen Avenue on Sunday. The next day, officers found the vehicle nearby with 2 suspects inside. A 33-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman are now facing charges. To LaSalle now, where the fire department had to put out not 1 but 3 different boat fires at the same marina. The LaSalle Fire Department spent 4 hours Monday night trying to extinguish the flames. The boats were docked in their slips at the Holiday Harbor Marina when the fire ignited. Crews arrived on scene just after 1 a.m. They didn't leave until almost 5 this morning. There is no word yet on what caused the fires, and no one was hurt. A warning to motorists: LaSalle will fully close busy stretches of Malden Road to allow for lengthy construction projects starting next summer.
There is a, pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, and we're all going to appreciate it when we get there, but it's going to be painful getting there.
Council approving the decision tonight, paving the way for at least 12 months of construction. This will, however, add a new lane, more traffic signals and crosswalks along Malden between the Cahill Bridge and Ream Road. Council opted against a partial closure that would have kept 1 lane open at a time. LaSalle is expected to save about 2 months of added work and $725,000. Roadwork will be split into 2 6-month phases, stopping for the winter, of course. Plans include access points and detours for residents to reach their homes and to reach all businesses, which will remain open.
So the least amount of time we can impact the residents, I think, is probably better, because it's sounding like if we kept that open, that is going to be even more frustrating for them, and it's even longer. So it just was the best that we could do in a very difficult situation.
Meantime, in Windsor, 2 new red light cameras came online this morning. The cameras are at the intersections of Lausanne Parkway and Tecumseh Road East, and there's another new one at Lausanne Parkway and Lausanne Line. Now, this brings the number to 16 of the 20 red light cameras already approved by City Council to date. The remaining 4 camera locations are expected to be operational before the end of this year. Meantime, at Leamington Council tonight, 2 projects of note were awarded. First, the town is going to spend more than $9 million to rebuild Seacliff Drive. This project has been ongoing for more than 10 years, with a cost of more than $50 million, which officials say will help the town expand and grow for the next 4 decades. Also, Leamington District Secondary School, now empty, will be torn down by Salandria Limited. The work will cost more than $822,000. However, the town must also spend $640,000 to relocate the chimney swift bird habitat from the school's chimney. Administrators reiterating to taxpayers tonight this is not something the town wants to do. It's something they must do under both provincial and federal laws, and they must do it by March of next year.
You already lose a single season when you remove that habitat, and they want the habitat restored as soon as possible. Typically, you get sort of one window because they're migratory birds.
The City of Windsor wants your feedback on the look of its next central library branch. The city held an open house tonight showing off how the new library could look. Options include keeping archives and administration on site or keeping it to a standard branch. Windsor has yet to announce the site of this new branch, with the need to leave the Paul Martin building downtown by 2028. You'll find a link to the library designs on our website, ctvnewswindsor.ca. 2 Sun Parlor home workers are being hailed as heroes for saving a young woman's life.
I had to go through the kitchen, and I went down to, I think, to the first landing in the staircase. I was a little worried about getting my boot caught, and I just kept yelling, if anybody was in there, anybody in there, you better get out because the house is on fire.
It all happened on September 15th when Kevin Soulier and Dylan Montague were on their way back to work at Sun Parlor Home in Leamington when they noticed flames shooting out of this home on Warren Avenue. Inside, they roused a young woman who was asleep in the basement as smoke began to fill the home. They woke her up and helped the woman escape right before firefighters arrived. Once emergency crews got to the scene, Montague and Soulier simply went right back to work.
I'm not a hero. The guys and the men and women who do this every day, the paramedics, the firemen and police officers that sign up to do this every day, they're the heroes. We were just lucky that we were seeing what we seen and we were able to help.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time.
I'm very dedicated to my daughter's education.
A new scam has surfaced, the education scam. Details still to come.
5K a day is back on 93.9
Virgin Radio.
Listen to Hannah and Johnny in the morning for your chance to win $5,000.
Every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now with a look at what is going to be a rainy day.
You're right. Next 24 hours, Michelle, still gray, still wet. Temperatures slightly above seasonal, but unsettled. This area of low pressure brought some scattered showers, vicinity thunderstorm activity across parts of southern central, southwestern Ontario today and through the evening. Reached a high of 26, 5 degrees above seasonal. It's been a mild, above average day. A bit muggy, yes. Humidity values were up, and those thunderstorms were nasty in and around the city of London, Strathroy, Ontario, further east towards Kitchener and Waterloo. We are still in the midst of this massive system of low pressure spinning about, and with that, we stay gray for the most part. Spotty showers, we've seen it. Over the next 2-3 hours, I think we'll see the winds die down just a bit, and wind really won't be much of an issue with thunderstorms. It often is, but the intensification will be potentially through the afternoon, again spread out. If we do see a concentrated amount of rainfall, it might be Windsor towards Lake St. Clair and for our friends in Sarnia, Ontario. Meanwhile, the 401 corridor between Chatham, Kent, London, Kitchener, Waterloo, and eastward from there stays relatively dry with just a few scattered showers possible. The overnight temperatures are still balmy by comparison to norms. At this time of the year, it would be closer to about 11, 12 degrees. We'll look at 17, maybe even 18 before dawn tomorrow. But the overnight is cloudy, and there's a 40 to 60% chance of showers and or thunderstorm activity. Here's the breakdown for your Wednesday for the city of Windsor. We're looking at 17 degrees already at 8 a.m. Cloudy, about a 30% chance of showers through the midday and afternoon. We'll see 20 jump to 22, and again showers, about a 60% chance of that, and maybe embedded in this boundary layer some convective activity, thunderstorms. The rains continue potentially Thursday morning through the midday. Friday still gray, at least for half the day. The afternoon clears out, some sunshine. Note temperatures will range between now and next Tuesday over the 7-day stretch 22 to 25 degrees Celsius. The good news is Friday afternoon through the weekend and beyond, Monday, Tuesday, and maybe even Wednesday, we're looking at sunshine, fair weather, and temperatures still above seasonal for this time of the year. A week from now, let's look at your weather.
The contract dispute, lockout, and blockade between Unifor and Titan Tool and Die returned to Windsor's Superior Court today. The company wants the court to intervene on this blockade of their other business, Futura Tool and Die. So as we've reported, since September 10th, Unifor has been blocking transports from leaving or getting in. Today, Titan's lawyers asked a Superior Court judge to expand an injunction they secured in April for the Titan factory on Howard Avenue. Titan wants blockades to be limited to 30 minutes or less for all of their addresses here, including all of Charles Street. Unifor's lawyer disputes the court can expand an injunction. Rather, the union believes Titan needs to start a whole new process. Justice Yasminka Kalajic says she needs some time to consider her decision. It's not clear how long that will take. Dainty Foods is expanding into the United States. Tonight, the CEO is, however, reassuring the company's local workforce this expansion won't hurt Windsor. They believe it will create job security in Canada. CTV's Travis Fortnam has the story.
We are about to announce in the next couple months a new U.S. facility that will be sinking roughly $50 to $75 million into over the next 4 years to support the growth of our company.
Rather casually, during an interview on the Food Professor podcast, Dainty Foods CEO James Maitland shared news that the Windsor-based company will soon set up shop in the United States.
Now, the announcement that you just mentioned, is this public or is this a premiere for the Food Professor podcast?
It's a little bit of both. We haven't officially committed to which site we're going with yet, but it's been known in the industry that we were investing in the U.S.
While Dainty's news might not have been breaking, it did raise some eyebrows. Could Dainty be moving its operations out of Canada, scrapping dozens of jobs in Windsor and 140 years of history? Maitland saying unequivocally Tuesday, no.
There's nothing to be concerned about Dainty Foods jobs. Hearing Dainty investing in the U.S. is only going to make Dainty Canada stronger because of the synergies between the two organizations, but there is zero risk for Dainty Canada at all.
On the contrary, he points to a $35 million investment in Canada over the past 3 years and a new distribution center opening in Windsor this January, adding 30 jobs locally. Still, Maitland says the company hasn't been immune to tariff-related stress, at one point taking a 50% hit when levies were applied on both sides of the border, with 40% of their sales going into the U.S. The food professor himself saying the Dainty Foods expansion is pure good news.
We need to celebrate companies that do invest elsewhere around the world to brand Canada.
Charles Lebois says he understands the concern, especially after Diageo announced it will close its Amherstburg bottling facility and move that work to Illinois. But he says in this case, those concerns are misplaced.
I mean, you don't really make a move like that just because of a presidency. I mean, it's just too short.
Travis Fortnam, CTV News.
Canadian privacy watchdogs say TikTok didn't do enough to keep underage children off the platform. Federal and provincial authorities say they found hundreds of thousands of kids using the platform, despite it not being meant for people under 13. The findings also indicated that the efforts to prevent the collection and use of those children's personal information was also inadequate. In a statement, a TikTok spokesperson says they disagree with some of the findings, but say they remain committed to transparency and privacy practices. Canada's main stock index topped 30,000 for the first time today as strength in the energy and base metals sectors helped it climb into record territory before falling back to close 143 points lower. Meanwhile, in New York, the Dow lost 89, the Nasdaq fell 215, the Canadian dollar dropped 0.08 of a cent, and on commodity markets, gold gained more than $40 an ounce, and oil added $1.13 a barrel.
Would you text your ex for $10,000? 89X is back.
Listen for the keywords and text your ex. It's never been more rewarding to get back with your ex. Only on Windsor's Alternative 89X.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Many Canadians are saying no to travel to the United States, according to Statistics Canada, with trips south of the border down about a third in July compared to July of last year. Trips to Canada by U.S. residents decreased by 3% during that time, with July marking the 6th consecutive month of decreased south to north travel. It's the second time since 2006 that more U.S. residents traveled to Canada than Canadians visited the U.S. outside of the COVID-19 pandemic. The report also shows that the number of trips to Canada by overseas residents was up more than 10% from July last year. Overall, Canadians are traveling less, with return trips down 24.2% compared to 2024 figures. A provincial politician from Northern Ontario has been kicked out of the PC caucus after he was arrested on Sunday. With more on the investigation and the charges he faces, here's CTV's Queen's Park reporter Siobhan Morris.
Please get out and vote for Chris Scott.
That was the Premier campaigning with Chris Scott and Sault Ste. Marie in February. 7 months later, the rookie MPP finds himself on the outs with the Progressive Conservative Party.
Chris will be no longer sitting with our caucus.
It means Scott will sit as an independent when the legislature reconvenes next month. The 35-year-old removed from the PC caucus after he was criminally charged over the weekend. Chris Scott now faces a charge of assault and assault with a weapon. He's been released on $5,000 bail. A publication ban limits what we can share about the case. Scott is a former advisor to the Premier's office, but Doug Ford said little about the charges.
I was informed literally in the parking lot as we're going through here. And yeah, go to the Sault Ste. Marie police. I don't want to interfere in a police investigation.
Police in the Sioux say the arrest was carried out by Toronto police and that they're refraining from sharing more to protect the identity of any victim or victims. Scott created a stir when it was announced he'd carry the PC banner in Sault Ste. Marie, accused of being a parachute candidate. He won the election by a little over 100 votes over the NDP challenger.
Feels incredibly humbling.
Scott went on to be appointed parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Energy and Mines.
Global demand for these critical minerals is only going up.
That title and party designation gone. His office dark. New Democrats say Scott needs to resign immediately. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A new scam is targeting parents of university students. One mother says she's out thousands of dollars and wants others to think twice if they get a similar message. CTV's Pat Foran has her story.
My daughter just finished high school and started University of Toronto.
Sandra Jordan of Mississauga says her daughter Ava Moss was excited to start university this fall. Everything was going fine, but earlier this month she got an email claiming a tuition payment was due right away or she would be kicked out of her program.
It states that she'll be de-enrolled from her courses if they did not get a $3,000 deposit by the end of that day.
The email appeared to come from the University of Toronto, so Jordan immediately sent an e-transfer of $3,000. But not long after sending it, she had concerns.
I just had this weird feeling that something didn't seem right.
On the university's website, there is a warning of the tuition scam, but the alert was too late for Jordan, and she lost $3,000. The University of Toronto told CTV News the university never asked students for payment through e-transfer or other private means. Jordan's bank, CIBC, said if you receive an unexpected request for money, you should verify the request is legitimate by reaching out to a trusted organization like your bank, or in this case, the university.
Whenever it comes to making any type of financial transaction, if you're unsure, hit the pause button, take a breather.
Ritesh Kotak says criminals create a sense of urgency, so you'll act fast. He says whenever you're asked to send money, slow down, ask questions to make sure the request is legit.
Sometimes a lot of these high-tech crimes, low-tech solution. Pick up the phone, call the university, and validate and verify before you send your hard-earned money over.
Jordan wishes the university would have warned families in advance about the scam. She says the $3,000 could have helped pay for her daughter's schooling, and she wants other students to be careful.
To lose $3,000, obviously, I'm very dedicated to my daughter's education.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Dialysis patients from across Canada can be part of a new clinical trial.
I'm a patient advisor, and this opportunity was presented to me 2 years back. And I thought it behooves me to give back to my community.
Frank Ansell is working with researchers in London who are testing a new dialysis filter they believe could help patients live longer, healthier lives. Dialysis is an essential, life-sustaining treatment for millions of people living with kidney failure. It uses a special filter to do the work of a kidney by removing waste, salt, and fluid from the blood. Researchers are trying to determine if newer generation filters can remove larger toxins from the blood, and if so, can the newer filters help patients live longer, stay out of hospital, not get hospitalized, and even feel better?
We think a big part of that is that the dialysis filters are not as good as a natural kidney. There are things that they do not remove as well.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
The Windsor Symphony Orchestra is getting down to the business of finding its next music director. Longtime maestro Robert Franz passed away earlier this month. Officials say 2026 will be used as a springboard, bringing finalist conductors to Windsor to lead performances. In the meantime, guest conductors are being lined up to finish the season, including resident conductor Jeffrey Larson. The Symphony is also reporting the return of sellout crowds, a strong sign of growing support.
This past weekend, we opened the doors for the Capitol Theatre to our season, and we had over 900 people that were there on Saturday afternoon, or Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon. This season was the one that Robert programmed, and it was his artistic vision, and we are going to make sure that we proudly carry on his music legacy.
Windsor-Essex Therapeutic Riding Association is now helping veterans. On the weekend, Branch 594 of the Royal Canadian Legion brought a group of vets to Wetra. The goal was to introduce them to equine therapy. 9 veterans took part, all members of the Buddy Check program. It gives soldiers a chance to share stories, support one another, and clearly try new treatments. The Legion says there's been a shift in language within the last year. PTSD is now being referred to as PTSI.
I started to hear that shift about 6 months ago, and it was post-traumatic stress disorder, and now it's called a post-traumatic stress injury. They don't want to refer to it as a disorder. It is an injury brought on by traumatic events.
And CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me one last time with Wake Up Weather.
Michelle, I think tomorrow morning is gray, potentially wet. There's still a chance of thunderstorms between now, the late night hour, towards early tomorrow morning. It is still mild right now and through to dawn Wednesday morning. We'll see 22 degrees, maybe 23. In and around 3, 4 o'clock, the high. It will feel like about 28 to 29. That's because of the humidity. Yeah. The Thursday temperature is still holding at 22. Still a gray day and about a 60% chance of showers. Things improve for Friday after the morning. The afternoon clears. AM showers turn to sunny breaks through the afternoon, and sunshine's the story for the weekend, with temperatures in the mid-20s both Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. More sunshine and fair weather, and still looking at temperatures in the lower 20s. Not a bad forecast once we get past Wednesday, Thursday. The weekend and beyond looks wonderful. Have yourselves a good night.
And finally for us tonight, a reminder that some good came out of the pandemic and our desire to be together in the face of uncertainty. CTV's Chris Campbell reports on the Corvette Club of Windsor's work today in making this dreary Tuesday a little bit brighter.
A corral of Corvettes paraded around Windsor Regional Hospital's Met campus, their engines rumbling for a reason far greater than speed.
We started the parade during COVID, and we decided to continue that tradition. So it's very nice to be able to do that to support the hospital patients as well as the workers.
Each year, the club raises money in support of the hospital's pediatric oncology unit. Today, members delivered on that promise with a record-breaking $40,000 check presentation, celebrating another successful campaign to help kids and families facing tough battles.
I was a physiotherapist, so I had a young boy that I treated with a brain tumor for about a year, and so it is near and dear to my heart for sure.
We're so appreciative of everything that the Corvette Club has done for us. To be able to provide care within Windsor, Essex, instead of a lot of these families having to travel on the 401 and go up to London to receive care, is absolutely amazing for our families.
The parade tradition isn't just about cars, it's about community.
I can't imagine the stress that they feel every single time their child is sick or has to go on a routine treatment and come to our facility, and knowing that they can probably drive 15 or 20 minutes within Windsor, Essex, rather than having to drive up the 401 to London, is incredible.
From waving patients and families at the windows to the pride on display from club members, it's a rolling reminder that compassion can come with chrome and horsepower.
It's wonderful. It really just shows the support of the club, and the patients love to look out their windows and see the parade and know that that support is coming to them from the community.
The Corvette Club says it's proud to share their love of cars and keep this annual tradition revving. In Windsor, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks so much for joining us and supporting local news. Enjoy what's left of your night, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday at 11.